Previously on Tessie Teams.
Adolas, not but as we traveller having to find my way away from here, and seeing as you're on your path outward, would you be interested in having a passenger just pay for a meager seat on your way?
Just give us the stone. This is your doing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A couple days ago, Auspicia could hear everyone in the bar, even when they weren't speaking.
Your father was Salith Cryptguard, but is no longer somehow. The Sangolith must be destroyed. It undid the relationship between you and Salith Cryptguard.
And she goes, okay, got a job to do.
From Walnut, you see these serpentine tendrils reaching out toward one of the men who is approaching the cart. There is a symbol that does describe it, that is able to contain all of this and explain it in a simple, universal, robust grammar. And underlying all of this, you can see the icon of the
Time is the enemy, the past, it threatens the fastest weapon. You wouldn't make it past a second, and that's the question. Play it brash and reckless, or choose a cautious solution you thought was prudent. In any sepulcher, pulchritude will become the putrid. It's that wealth that I'm pursuing. No mountain too steep or dungeon too deep to send expendable marks up to the top of the peak or beneath. They see you bleed, they come like sharks to it, while I swim in that money bin like Carl Barks drew it. So send your national parks druid, I'll send him home in a natural box with a closed top and most of the parts included. Save your breath for a cleric confessor. Death is a lesson and life is a tenured professor. But if you're seeking my official advice, sign on the dotted line, initial it twice.
Hello, I am Tycho Brahe of Penny Arcade and PAX. What's more, I'm also a Minifis Herwadron, CEO of Acquisitions Incorporated, but today I'm Jerriford K. Horcrims, and I'm here to run a game of Dungeons and Dragons for my friends. To my right, Dragonborn narcissist Donaar Blitzen. To the right of my right, repping the natural world, Walnut, Nebraska.
It took over.
Yeah, there was a weird thing that happened.
Josh, is this too high to be
there's
seen?
word jail.
Oh, there's word jail.
I saw word jail.
Just gotta bring it down.
What level? Where should the bird be about?
To the face.
Right here?
Straight on.
Whoa.
And then two eyes
sound?
on either side. You can,
To my left.
That's incredible. Those are both great noises.
Twang! To my left, not your grandma's grandma, except in those rare cases where she is your grandma's grandma, Rosie Beast.
Can you do sound effects for me? Ready?
Sure.
No, I was gonna go like.
It's not like that.
Oh, that's like a Moss Isley sort of like cantina thing. I don't know.
Sir.
I dig it.
Yes, sir.
I dig it. Hey, to the left of my left.
It's a jizz band.
It is, yeah. Makes sense.
Get it?
Valentine's Day.
Not dirty. It's a Star Wars word.
To the left of my left. Yuck. Emerging as though from a recalcitrant mist shroud. Cthulhu's Drow!
Hey.
Whoa.
Didn't think so.
Yeah, see him. Yeah, watch him greet you
That's the sound.
in his customary fashion. Now, when last we saw our heroes, they had traveled long from the city of Waterdeep, having, secured the, ostensibly very valuable wildcard license, brief stop at home.
Right? Right?
He's off his game today.
He's a little tired.
No.
Sorry.
Well, but if you're tired, just still do it, but just do it like a down. But so
I kept that running for a while last game.
everyone wants
Until
to
you were all saying it too
maintain Now you're
fast.
stuck.
You're intentionally saying the word over and over.
You.
One license.
In any case,
We got a wild claw license, and I was like, oh wait, bring it back.
sir. Har. Brief pit stop at home on the way to the western reach of the Crypt Garden forest to examine, speak with, confer with a Selith Crypt Garden.
For a lost daughter.
Indeed, regarding the manner of a lost daughter. The first job that they were able to secure, technically speaking, this is just outside their traditional, contractually oriented working region, just outside the Destrin Valley. Indeed. They had just arrived, as I recall, right before our game came to a close. Walnut Dawn Grass was trying new fashions for the season, as I recall. We'll go into the particulars of that. Cthulhu Draub, you may recall that a certain cauldron did tip at the very end, and you were able to bear witness to the sort of reaching causal tendrils, visibly cut clean, but even then still trying to find one another in the vast matrices of possibilities available to you as a result of your somewhat non-standard eye configuration.
As a bear witness.
Indeed. That, gathered friends, is where we find ourselves. So please tell me more about these fashion choices. Walnut, are they regrettable?
It's the Cloak of Stars.
Oh, you've borrowed some garb.
I've borrowed the Cloak of Stars and have it, wrapped up so that you can't see any of her EPA garb.
Of her traditional, even the sharp corners of the lower pleat.
Yeah, I mean, it would all be covered up, and Cthulhu is taller than her, so it's probably dragging on the ground.
Yeah, it's more like a wedding train or something.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's getting snagged.
Yeah, the bottom of the cloak does not look great, so it's not noticeable.
It wouldn't. It's always
fine.
in its classic, in its generally like drawn configuration. It's pretty ragged down at the bottom,
Yeah,
right?
it's not the best.
It's a little sepulchral.
Business up top.
What
Party
is,
at the bottom.
Cheese grater on the bottom.
It's like a mullet.
What is Cthulhu wearing now?
Oh, so under there, you're just going to see a nude body,
Shut up.
a beautiful blue.
Well, no.
Sinewy,
Well, no. I mean,
lithe.
I mean, the truth is, I mean, my understanding is that Cthulhu probably has a simple dark colored tunic underneath there.
Yeah.
But he still has the rib cage around it. So this is actually the sort of thing that we might be able to sell as a special seasonal variant.
It looks like he put on part of a still
A larger
from
skeleton.
Dune. Yeah, that's it. It's just black, and then there's some bones as a vest. Right.
Wait. So
And he's fine with it,
the
right?
lizard.
that's fine.
The Lizard King is made of dried meat, right? Not bones.
Yeah, it's just a very jerky-like.
And are you wearing
Vest.
a Hussar also, or
No.
just the-
No, I
Hassar,
wish.
recall
Yeah.
recall that qouccw
Yes.
has traveled
Correct.
away
Of course.
with the both of them.
So
And
you
with the
have-
way time works,
Yeah.
long dead.
We'll see.
But Hussar, just bones, somewhere out there. I could find him again.
Yeah.
He could be mine.
But jerky adjacent, what
Yeah.
we're really talking about is a kind of webbed sinew
Got it.
Yeah.
between the bones that provides a protection of a sort
Yeah.
and oriented toward a type of energy you aren't entirely familiar with.
That BD.
Big dragon. So
Big drow.
are
Energy.
we are walking.
Blue drone.
I'm ready.
Blue drow energy shit.
That was the winner.
Thanks.
We have exited the cart and we're approaching this group. What's the?
My feeling is that that was the event that precluded your
I am
beholding it.
walking up to these men, and when we get close to them, I'll say, we're here to meet with Salith Crypt Garden.
They all look to you. Here in this group that is approaching, there are now 5 such men, and it should be. I should reestablish the visual notes just so that everybody is here with us at the same time and place. So, in the same way that you suggested that a mullet, there's a party region and a business region. Let's say that everything from the waist down is something like traditional EPA garb. Obviously, well used, lived in. They don't appear to wear much of anything above the waist.
Nice.
And there is no, they don't have a single lock of hair
That's how we like them in the EPA.
on their heads, up top, and they look to each other and say, "We are all Salith." They seem very confused by this.
And I say,
And so, just give me a real quick.
yeah.
This is probably going to be good for history, I would say.
Are they all identical? Do they look
No,
like clones?
no,
Okay.
no, no.
Okay.
They're not. They're not like synonymous with one another.
Okay.
But the cultural practice that governs their appearance and the way they present themselves is apparently quite severe.
Okay.
Advantage, please.
Oh, here you go.
Because I got a chunky +0 on this.
Yum.
Dude, this is how good the Shadow Council may or may please you is. I hit -1 and it got another one at that same second.
That was a 7 and a 19.
Take the 19.
I'll take the 7. No.
There's a lot of it's sort of like Welsh names
Okay.
in that like the vast majority of Welsh names are just variations on like hill or you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like they describe beautiful natural features.
Okay.
Salith is like son of. And so looking at it, it's like, okay, well, this is a name. It's a derivation of. It wouldn't be an uncommon name for a young elf, a young elven man, but they refer to themselves as sons of the Crypt Garden.
I see. Walnut likes that. Walnut will remember this.
Is that
Not too soon.
Sad.
too soon?
But she will. And she says, which Salith contacted Acquisitions Incorporated about the matter of a lost daughter?
The one that seems to stand in front, but not by much. I mean, it would require a robust level of social savvy to discern that they even held themselves in some kind of hierarchy.
Is this the one who's standing in front but maybe not perceivable as that? Is that the one from whom the
No.
tendrils are extending?
No.
Who are they extending from?
Oh, I will reveal all, sir.
Okay,
So,
but let me frame it.
yeah,
though.
yeah, please do.
I'm imagining, well, you've at least stepped up to the front, Walnut. If anybody cares to notice, as soon as I've seen this revelation of these
Right.
chronological, these world lines reaching out, and I've seen that the is related to it, Cathris is now like on his knees back there. He stopped walking when he saw that and is just staring.
He's on his knees.
Yeah, he fell down.
Like,
in worship.
like all fours? Like, describe the
In awe and not wanting to approach, like understanding that there is another, like
well, and you know,
Social dynamic.
right.
exactly. And like I said, just one more time so that everybody has the information they need to be with us in the scene.
Yeah.
You are observing these events from 4 simultaneous points of perspective.
Yes.
And it's And it is only because you have become aware of the interplays of these different laws, each of which describes an incredible system of sophistication, but in a limited grammar. Because you have exposure to each of these, you can see that they're all sort of weakly gesturing at a true pillar of structure that undergirds events.
Right.
Capital E.
Yeah.
This is peak Jerry and Chris.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all just say this in like normal
Absolutely.
languages.
Absolutely. So imagine, if you will,
I will.
a dark mathematics.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And imagine that the most sophisticated mathematics we have is, if we were to look at it in another type of grammatical sense, like a simple, is like a lullaby, like a bedtime story.
Okay.
It's necessarily, it is made simple so that it can be understood by simple creatures.
That's our normal math.
That is, yes, that is our normal math.
This dark math.
So imagine that divinity is one way of describing it,
Okay.
and it's only describing it from this side. And then imagine that what we understand as physical law describes this side of it. So imagine perhaps 3 lights of 3 different colors shining on the same statue.
Okay. And you have access to the dark mathematics.
I'm seeing bits of it.
The true mathematics.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
well-
is what I seek. Yeah.
As soon as you're on your knees, Rosie's at your side in an instant. And it's not clear how she got there that fast.
Yeah.
And she has her hand on your shoulder. She's like, Cthulhu? What is it?
The I'm just staring.
And it's just like 5 shirtless wood elves, which Rosie's all about. It's great. She's like,
It's like, yes, there's something
Yeah.
here for everybody.
here?
In among them, between them, describing the broken paths. Wait. And I stand up to, like, I need to see this play out because I know that I'm seeing what I inhabit now is like an incorrect version. We are on the wrong.
It's dislocated.
Yes, and I want to see how what happens now, how it will affect these paths interlinking. But I'm not describing that to you.
No,
The
of
only
course
thing
not.
I'm saying to you is just like,
For-
it's just like, wait, like, let me get my bearings. Yeah.
Well, and all Rosie really knows about the earth that it drives you insane. And so she's like, whoa, okay. And she's got
Choking him.
Rosie, imagine a dark mathematics. It's a
do it.
lullaby.
Yes.
And there's 3 colors of light in the statue.
incredible.
So
It's like addition
I
plus
am-
subtraction and
Think about
multiplication.
that. Adtraction.
division.
Be there.
So she has her hand on your elbow as you stand up, but she's
Yeah.
also like, she's kind of looking at your neck. And she's like making sure that this thing's still on. She's like, okay, all right, let me know if anything changes.
you'll know before I will.
Great. Okay.
I'm okay, but
Ominous, yeah.
It's very Cthulhu. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Legati is looking at the necklace that you hold.
By this thing or
Yes.
that thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
the part of it that you have.
Right. That I've looped around as a
Yeah,
bracelet. As,
and as you're sort of like gesturing and moving your hand toward it, like getting ready, he's looking at you and he's just split his face open and is beginning to just rise up and keep an eye on you.
Yeah, I feel like I'd noticed that out of my peripheral, many peripheral.
no, not now.
Yeah,
Not now.
and I just say, oh, Legati, a necessary thing. It is good. It is good.
The
So when
Yes.
that one, when I say, lost daughter and one seems to stir or whatever, Walnut immediately, because of the conversation that she had with Cthulhu, immediately now thinks that like this one, she mistakenly now thinks this one was supposed to be her father, and she immediately begins like measuring him up.
yeah.
And so this is the mental capacity that she's in when she starts this conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Oh no, this could not be better. It's
Like a Mamma Mia.
No, exactly. And he says, we have very little contact
with the world outside the Crypt Garden. Generally speaking, milady, we have no interest in it.
As it should be.
He tilts his head at you a little bit, hearing that sort of
And she catches
no,
herself.
by hearing an echo of the old, just dismissive nature.
She's gonna give herself away. Yes.
Whoops.
He says, "It is the chance of one of us securing the services of a city are very, very low. It says they are a poison. And look about you. We respect the forest here.
I can see that. What can we do for you?
I suspect very little."
Whoa.
She does not like that. But she doesn't do anything immediately.
So, Cthulhu, you can see in this sort of chevron shape, you can see that it's the mildest, most gentle form of chevron you can possibly imagine.
A loose, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can get air, you can get gas. You
Yeah.
could go in and
No
get
snacks.
No
No
corn,
snacks, no snacks.
and none of the hot dogs on the rolling thing. It's not like that. Second from the right, there is a glistening eye, and on in the prime material slice of your perception, and it is mirrored in some way in each of the other perspectives, and that is the man from which these sort of causal serpents are extending and reaching out toward.
I see. So I'm studying this one carefully, even though it's not the one that Walnut is talking to. What are their ages? Do they seem like they would be the age of her father?
They exist in a robust range, but generally speaking, it's near the 1,000 mark.
Okay. So anybody. All right.
Does Rosie like them old?
You know it.
I think that Rosie likes them.
Yeah.
I mean, if this campaign is any indicator, she's an enthusiast of the form.
And yum 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 yum. I think Rosie would also. She would ask. This is the same place where Nemazir was, right? We
in the totality of this forest, but
Yeah.
where Nemazir would have been several days to the east.
okay. But I think she would have.
It is the same forest.
She
You're
would
right.
want to ask. Were you all here when the Nemazir destruction took place? You must have been aware of it.
Their posture at the mention of the word shifts into rigidity.
Right.
Like they plant their feet firmly on the ground. Each says, "What do you know of Nemazir?"
Well, what I will say is you have us to thank for it no longer existing in your forest.
He says, "We have the daughter of the EPA to thank for the destruction of Nemazir."
Well, we helped her with that. She couldn't do it alone. She is very capable, but
wherever she may be.
wherever she is, don't know where she is, don't know what she's up to. She's probably having a great time out there, but we assisted her, and that is truth you can take to the bank.
That you surely don't need.
You don't have a
tree bank.
You don't have a checking account.
An acorn stash.
Like a squirrel bank, like a bank for nuts.
But Rosie, not once does she break eye contact with this dude. She never glances at Walnut. Because it's clear, obviously, Walnut
Walnut
does
is
not want to give her...
sweating.
Right?
She's like, yeah.
He says, "So you serve the daughter then?"
I don't know about serve, but serve alongside. Absolutely, yes.
Doubtful.
Ask me anything, bro. I can prove it.
We do serve her. Yes.
What?
I have seen.
Dude, this is the best. Just Donaar is a little bit outside of this, and it's just we do. What? Like that is like peak Donaar.
Yeah.
I've seen firsthand the Nemazir's effects, as you can imagine, and it is powerful and it is great.
I misspoke. This one does serve the daughter of the EPA.
It's a ladder.
Obviously.
At this, the arms fold in front, and he says, "That is even more unlikely."
Why? Are you saying that a drow can't serve a daughter?
Just like this, as though he can smell the word drow.
Walnut's getting bristly.
I know. I think at this point, I think Rosie's just trying to like needle her passively.
She's like, come on with the reveal. Walnut gets, as soon as he starts coming at Cthulhu, even just a little bit, she says, "We're here about the matter of a lost daughter. You must have heard of Acquisitions Incorporated. We have great renown throughout the realms. We're here to help."
Convenient local branches.
And she says, "I am here to help."
Just to the right, as he appears to load his mind for another volley, the one just to the right of him that you identified as being correlated in some way with these events, puts a gentle hand on the speaker's left shoulder and says, "Salith, I will show them to the edge of the forest. This is no concern of ours. They have clearly lost their way. And I will..."
Doesn't even let them finish. She rips off the cloak of stars and just hurls it at Cthulhu. And she takes out Foremother and just stands there indignant. And she says, "Let me find your lost daughter."
Rosie just points at her. She's like,
They are, in a moment, they are on the ground.
She's loving it.
Just like in the same way, like if you, like imagine if
I'm a baby. I'm a worm. I'm a little worm.
like it's awful. It's like there's a point, and it's up to you. Obviously, this is Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to hear everything that you are thinking and feeling about it.
Execute them all.
At once.
Unworthy.
In the same way that like when we were at the WWE, perhaps you've heard of it, Raw.
More.
Raw, give it to you.
So in the same way that like a professional sports person can like just hold the hand out once and then high five a line of people, you can just have Foremother out and then just decapitate all five of them.
It's,
It's not.
time is the enemy.
That's what they say.
Yeah, we gotta be.
So
we got things to
they
do.
are. There's definitely a moment where they are down, but they're just like kicking with their feet and knees to just drive their faces into the ground. Like it's 4 of the 5 are in this moment of absolute like just prostration, and
Ouch.
yeah, when you're 42, that's when they say it starts.
Yeah.
But the one that had counseled his friend is just looking at you.
So I'll relax a little bit. I don't really care about the ones that are
Well, I don't.
kneeling.
She wouldn't, right?
No, she doesn't care.
Prostating.
She doesn't even like whatever they're doing.
Yeah. It's not helping me.
And she says, I am here to find a lost daughter for a Salith crypt garden. I am going to do that today. Are you going to help me do that?
He says, I think we have much to discuss. And he steps forward, and the others just sort of like look up, just hang dog, like just ash and dust on their faces and chests, just muttering something into the earth itself. And he walks forward and takes your arm at the elbow.
Oh. I'm like a little taken aback by this.
Yeah, and you can tell that it is everything that in his power to attempt to communicate in this way.
Yeah, but I'll take his arm at the elbow and put my hand on his hand, and I look him dead in the eye.
Yeah. And just a tear falls out of his left eye. It's just directly to the ground.
I'm confused about that. But I'm happy to meet someone that knows some of the old ways.
So he continues to walk just away from this. You think in some way he's trying to give his fellows like the opportunity to stand back up.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's like a certain radius within which they have to offer this.
I look back over my shoulder at the one that I thought to be my father, and I'm just unimpressed.
With this.
And I think to myself, why was I upset to have lost a father? Because this is what they are.
Nice. So, and this
Happy
this
Father's Day.
yeah, exactly. This is the Father's Day episode. Dads are trash. So these gentle fronds are continuing to try to seize each other. And then in the manner of a pea vine or something, they're trying to grow and like wrap around each other, but they can't. Like they seem to be undergoing a process where they are learning to connect in real time. And just trying different attempts and techniques. Like at one point, one of them makes something like a loop that the other one can grasp, but that slips. The cut's too clean.
Yeah, having seen this interaction and all that, I'm gonna awaken mind to you, Walnut, and say, of the one who has you by the elbow, like he is the one. I think this could be made right.
And then I say, how? What do you mean?
I don't know how yet. The is asserting itself. The right way is asserting itself.
Okay.
I need more information.
Okay. I trust you.
That makes one of us. But thank you.
Has she ever said that to qouccw before?
No. Has she ever trusted Christopher before?
Has she trusted anyone before?
I was gonna say if she said that to anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, I think
She would
that,
only say it in her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't say it
out loud.
Right.
Oh, it
yeah,
didn't
of course.
convey it back.
No, she conveyed it to him.
Oh, okay,
only,
yeah,
Only non-verbally.
yeah. I think
He's so
it-
self-deprecating. Would he even accept that, though?
He's one of us, is what he said.
Well, yeah. I'm trying to think of how he would, because it is that makes one of us, but like there is a great weight that goes with that. Like I am now. Like, oh God, somebody trusts me.
Yeah, exactly. Now you have to.
Yeah.
Now you're a part. You're a part of a structure.
Right. Yeah. I've
all.
always avoided this because it's so easy if you're not. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
We're all growing. It's cute.
And so as you are, the two of you are sort of walking away from the group, sort of out toward the road. he says, I always found myself looking out at these roads, looking out at the carts that passed, and wondering about the doomed places they came from.
When I was young, I also looked at the roads and looked at the carts, but I saw something very different.
He says, the reason I sent the missive with one of those doomed carts was because I had had what seemed to be a vision, but I had the same vision again and again. A vision of being chosen.
Being chosen by what? For what?
Being chosen by a mother.
Oh. But there are no
We are the
mothers.
last to have ever been chosen.
Oh. Yeah. Well, you're the last that will be chosen.
Do you think?
They're gone. I've looked for them. I looked for them for so long.
Do you think? Do you believe, daughter, that an evil world like this can persist forever?
I don't think that the world can persist as it is now. But I don't think that I don't think that will persist along with it.
He nods. He says, some stories say. Ice or fire. He takes a seat as a few carts in a convoy sort of make their way by. And he says, the young woman in the visions looked like you. What do you know of your own mother?
Only what I remember.
So you can see these strands begin to grow in strength and number. Mm-hmm. And then you start to see them weaving themselves together into great trunks.
Yeah, I'm imagining like the pea tendrils are supporting one another and spiraling
Exactly.
around. Yeah.
And so on each side, they're beginning to grow more dense and aggressive in their entreaties toward one another.
Yeah, if Rosie, if you're still next to me, I'm like now physically like I'm looking at the interaction between the two of them, and I am like I'm leaning on you.
Okay.
And I don't know if I can say anything yet about like what I'm perceiving, but I'm fascinated. I'm like trying to absorb as much as I can about what I see.
And Rosie's trying to connect the dots between your fascinated look and this interaction, but obviously has no idea why this is important to you. But she doesn't say anything. She's just kind of waiting for things to become clear.
Coriander has found a way to pull herself out of the harness of the cart and is now trying to get her nose underneath the gleaming scale coat of Bulwark and is beginning to nibble on the lower right corner of the cloak.
Of your fancy.
Of the fancy overcoat cloak. No way.
Like a big tug. Like now it's a big tug.
I would just push that stupid horse's face. Get off me. Get out here. Get back to the cart. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's wrong with you?
She raises up her nose, and then the sort of tight leather around the haft of the sword from Sorsha is just redolent of rich magic oils.
No.
Not
My sword. Not my +1 strength sword.
There's a gleaming pommel at the end that must look something like a bronze apple, and there's something delicious about it. And so that gray tongue is just out, sort of like scooting the sword squeakingly against your back.
Feed that horse.
No,
Feed that horse.
No, I
Mouth-
pull the
its
sword.
mouth
I pull the sword out.
It's about to
No.
close over the bulb.
No, I pull that sword out of the way of Coriander, sort of wave it over my head. Say, you want that sword? I'm going to give you that sword. Get back over by that cart. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, we don't want you anymore.
Get out of here.
Go.
I go around to the other side of the cart, and then I just start, like, trying to summon Clarkmore. I'm going to summon Clarkmore. I make Clarkmore
Here.
stand watch.
Do you have any more like because each time you do it, does Donaar think he's gotten closer to figuring it out? It's like I bet it's like trying to make a fire with a stick. It's like, oh no, I got it this time. I figured it out.
It's like there's like little subtle nuances to the hand gestures, so that he always gets wrong. Like his thumb accidentally hits his other thumb or something, and he doesn't realize. Like every time he thinks he got it, and he doesn't got it. It's a very, very quick spell. It should only take like 30 seconds, but it always takes him 10 minutes.
10 minutes exactly.
10 minutes exactly.
So Coriander begins.
On a good day, 9.
Coriander begins to wander into the encampment proper.
And I see her, but I'm still trying. I'm like, hey, get back over the cart. Do what I said.
You see her disappear into one of the huts.
Uh-oh. Faster. God damn it.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah, come on.
And he says,
Cursed man.
what was her name?
Dude, come on.
Yeah. I know, right?
It's honestly okay if she doesn't know.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Like, that would be the sort of thing that would fuck her up forever.
Man,
I feel like if you don't know, Walnut doesn't know either.
yeah, I don't know.
Well, it could be that you had something that you called her, like she called you Walnut.
Mm-hmm.
Walnut's
Yeah.
not an elven name.
No, well, yeah, yeah. Oh, she wouldn't know because she would only call her mother.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so I only called her mother.
Yeah, in the same way that Salith, right?
Right.
I think we've established that that's a kind of linguistic maneuver on the part of the EPA culture, right?
Yeah.
People are named after their purpose.
Right.
And he says, we're never allowed to know. But in the dream, I was chosen thrice.
Oh my god.
By the same woman?
A blessing in any age.
Walnut looks very concerned. Amy's excited.
Amy has begun to write fiction.
Okay. Walnut says, these visions, what if I told you there's more to them than just visions?
I would say, daughter, that you have described a vision.
That's true. I wouldn't.
Dude, she should laugh, dude. She should. Like right then, like right out there.
Yeah, maybe she would. This is such a weird interaction for her.
Yeah,
Talking to her not dad.
He snaps. He snaps a skin off of his belt and takes a drink from it and sets it and hands it to you.
Well, it takes it, looks at it for a minute, and then goes, "Okay, why not?" Doesn't say that, but takes a drink. Is it just water?
No.
What is it?
No. It's some kind
Is that thorn wine? And she's dead.
It's some kind of wine.
Oh.
It's some kind of wine they must make here.
Oh. Is it strong?
It's reasonable.
She sputters a little bit.
Yeah.
She's not used to alcohol.
He reaches over and then like realizes that's too much.
Yeah.
And then becomes stoic.
Walnut says, I've been told by the drow, and she motions to Cthulhu, that he was shown a vision of you and I, and that in another time and another place that you were my father, but that it's not so now.
His jaw sets, and his features, the rest of his features sort of draw to a point and smooth out like up his cheeks, giving him a sort of statuesque profile. And he says, "These are the manifold evils of this world."
Walnut says, she absentmindedly puts her hand on the Maleth medallion that she keeps under her armor, that she got in the Wandering Crypt, and she says, "My mission is to free," and she thinks about it before she says it, because she doesn't know how he's going to react. She doesn't know if he knows anything about the EPA lore, but she's like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
The old stuff.
The old stuff.
The old religion.
She says, I'm to free Maleth, and I think if I were to free her, it might set things right.
He adjusts his right boot against the loose stones that line the trail, and he says, "The mothers always suggested that we had done something to make her leave."
And Walnut says they were in their ancient and infinite wisdom somehow capable of being wrong.
He rubs his nose with his right hand and sniffs. It says, "What now?" So Cthulhu, you can see that these trunks are gathering strength on each side and reaching out into something like, over the last few generations, they have developed something like a slender hand. And they are just attempting to find one another and hold fast. And you think that all they need is a little help.
Oh. Walnut might be mistaken.
I mean,
Feel free to intervene.
yeah, at viewing this, am I able to, are these more than visions for me? Like, do I imagine that I can manipulate these?
You wonder.
Yeah, because I don't remember, I don't believe I'm wearing the Vistani ring, but I do pull it out and I place it on my finger as though to consider it, because I know that there is a connection here and I know that it is related to writing what's been changed by the Sanguilith.
Absolutely.
Shoot.
That's all correct. That's literally everything I've been trying to say for like a year and a half.
I know, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, but we're not. They're not getting married. It's like, do I not understand the particulars?
That's as Kithris as it gets.
Yeah. The only thing that I do at that is to nervously stand closer, like knowing that there's something that needs to be done, but not knowing what it is.
Yeah. So as you go over, so they're impossibly complex.
Yeah.
And they extend from them, but they're connected to a larger system. Mm-hmm. And as you stand, you can see a ripple go through that system.
That seems to be centered on me?
That seems to be centered on your point of perspective.
It's going to be experiment time. Because Kithris takes a step forward. Further.
Yeah.
Where are these ripples doing?
Yeah. So they are just sort of moving through the space in the folds between these vines, and you stop a few feet away because you are almost certain that you have been in this position before.
These tangles.
You have been in a position where there is something causal in need of repair, and you were there.
Yeah, I'm reaching for my notes, but then I was like, no, but I know this already. I should know this. There'd be no help.
This is a Unix system.
Do a check.
Perception, do you see any more tendrils? They're coming off you.
Dude, the tendrils are coming from inside the house.
Good.
The house is actually a tendril.
They were coming out of
trying
your
to go
eyes.
this forever. I want to do. God, what is the best way? I'm gonna.
All the ways that we can.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna grab the part of my chain, and what I'm trying to do is, in the same way that I used Legati as a compass.
Oh yeah, as a dowsing rod.
Right. I am looking for the thing, like via the connection to the Sanguilith. I want to know what upsets it. What
does it?
Whatever dim awareness it may have of its servant, me, here in this space, what is the direction that it does not want me to go? Am I getting any feedback that way?
Absolutely. So, as you
Warmer, colder.
basically, but like on a cosmic scale, right? So, you reach up to hold the portion, and you get a glimpse of what it might have been previously, what that moment was. You, in absolute service to the you had an awareness of the sanguilith growing to contain these laws. And you believed at that time that you had no choice, but you thought that perhaps you could decouple your own causality from this network of events, and it might rescue the
I see.
And so you can see yourself writing a note to yourself that says, I cannot, I must not, I will not, and then severing your connection to yourself, absolutely hoping that you would exist as a coordinate that the could find its way to.
What?
And when you, underneath your hand, you can feel that there is only the on the necklace. It is returned to the original shape that it had underneath your hand.
Oh, yes.
That's unity.
Now that's what I call unity.
UNITY.
But you remember now, you think that this is plausible. This is the work of the secret network of event and physicality and belief. The secret system underneath the system.
How deep does it go?
Yeah, I just, I think I fall down again.
I'm still next to you.
Yeah.
I need you to lose 2 points of constitution.
Then I will.
What?
I'll do so gladly.
Wait, 2 points of constitution?
Of my actual constitution.
That's right.
Oh my god, so you're down to 10.
Yeah. Let me see if I can do it.
It's plus
You may have to do some mods after the game.
You can just do an override and make it
yeah.
a 10. Yeah.
Kick ass.
There you go.
So,
With D&D Beyond.
With D&D Beyond, anything is possible.
no, don't, guys, listen.
It's easier to lose constitution.
This is the. It's easier than ever.
This is incredible.
Stop it. Anyway, so you have no stop it.
Sorry. Okay.
So you exist now in this knowledge. You remember your prior self and that power, and you feel yourself connected back to the person you were 2 years ago. And you don't agree with them on everything.
He did his best, is what the thought is. It's like, I get
He
it.
tried.
I understand.
Rosie's like immediately, of course, as soon as you fall, she's like, Chris, are you okay?
It's like a poison. This awareness is toxic. It's too much to know. And you feel weaker, physically weaker as a result.
God, yeah. So as I'm reacting to that, I am, I think I'm now like audibly praying to the and like.
What does an prayer sound like?
Prayer.
Oh! I bet it's in the chat right now.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that like to pray to the would be more like a blind wish for comprehension.
Right.
Because it cannot, there's no entity that I'm making a request of. It's not actually the connection.
No, it's not. It isn't tawdry, right? It isn't a god like that. It doesn't need supplication.
No, it needs data points thrown at it.
It's
it needs a model
programming,
filled.
right?
Yeah. So in doing that, I throw the blindfold off, and I'm now staggering forward, and I say, huh?
Like toward the two of them?
Toward the two of you now, and I say, it's not a vision. It's not a vision. I see it now. I see it in front of me. It is demanding to be repaired.
You are like 2 seconds away from getting choked out right now.
I say, what can we do?
Yeah, what are these movements like? As you're saying that, like, how are you?
Oh, listen.
He's like muttering to the and walking all weird.
Herky-jerky.
Yeah,
and
the
your
problem
creepy
is,
eyes.
yeah, I'm staggering forward.
Oh, like shambling, right? Like,
I am, yeah. Everything's up in here. No attention is being paid to this. So yeah, I'm staggering like I'm an extra on The Walking Dead.
All right.
It's not even words. It's like that cicada clicking. Like,
It's just like,
oh, binary.
yeah.
it's like it must be repaired, and I'm like holding the ring up. I'm showing you the ring. I'm like, it must be repaired.
And I look at you and I go, Cthulhu, how? Tell me how.
I don't know yet.
Here,
It hasn't
give
told
me
yet.
Here, give me a Arcana check.
Arcana? I'm gonna take some advantage on that.
Yeah, because that's a 2.
If I get a 4,
Can I ever?
yeah, it's not gonna be great. What is
more
my
than a
score?
2.
It's 10.
Yeah. It'll be because of the moment here. 10 is like the minimum threshold.
More like Arcanta.
Yeah. Oh, word jail. Get ready for the emote.
Now we can see it.
You need another anchor point. If you can place, you think that
There it is.
you think that Salith or this Salith needs the other anchor point. Walnut has one, is wearing one. You think that if
I see.
Salith wears it, you can use these 2 anchor points
When that
to repair it.
Yeah, when that occurs to me, I take the ring off and I am, for a moment, furious because I misunderstood. And I believed, like, marriage is between two, partners in wedlock.
Mortal constructs.
Really, it's between a father and his daughter.
That's what real marriage is about. To care for a daughter.
beautiful.
The true biblical marriage. and to maintain power. In the
Leviticus 4:12.
Yeah.
420.
This is a very important moment, you asshole.
All right, let's continue.
The
let's
Lord
continue.
said, marry your daughter and get a goat.
All right, let's see.
yeah, so it's and I there's a little bit too much anger in my face, so it's a little bit concerning, Rosie. But I say, the eye of the needle, and I push this thing at Sully to take it. And
You're holding it up, but you're like not looking at him. Like
I'm not looking at him, and in fact, I do get now I'm staggered to my knees, like as if I'm pressing my will, I'm going to feel him take it, and it's going to leave my hand.
yeah.
I say, just as I say, you better take it.
He looks at you, and you're not sure he could deny any request that you made. Mm-hmm. He holds it out. And he just lets it drop into his hand, and he places it here, and you think it would be like. Do you think that it would be like tying a knot? A simple knot. But the location doesn't matter. It's hilarious in a way. Where something is doesn't matter at all.
No,
You think you could have fixed this from the Tronic courtier?
Oh, certainly. Why does truth care of a location? That's not important.
But it's novel that you are here and able to do it. That's interesting in its way.
I imagine that to be, I cast it away. Because to me, that is not a human, but a
Mortal thing.
A mortal, construct of, there needs to be a bookend, a dramatic bookend. And I was just like, no, shut up.
No,
Like I've spent a long time trying to press that down.
You, he wears it, and as soon as the thought occurs to you that these two things should be joined, they're joined.
What?
I'm imagining these trunks, these tendrils, like threaded through the rings, like as a loom, and I am perceiving it that way. Like I want to imagine this as this is the tapestry being assembled.
There's no seam at all. You can instantiate and annihilate this causal loom at any time.
What?
It's irrelevant. It's ridiculous in a way.
At that, I think Cthulhu is, he's going to fall down a little bit deeper.
Oh, boy.
To the
All right.
ground. Full on ground.
Jeez. Just like
Staggered. Yeah, no,
Plop.
I'm totally prostate.
Do you
Good
puke?
job.
I get
Totally
down on
prostate.
the ground next to you, and I go,
Yeah.
Chris, what is happening?
You were talking to your father.
My not father.
No.
No, he's always been your dad.
Oh.
You were talking to your father, and Cthulhu fell over. And it's a little embarrassing.
Oh.
not in front of my dad, dude.
I said, Chris, what's wrong with you?
That would take too long to answer.
There's so much.
Am I aware that this is kind of a big RP leap for everybody else?
You are. No one else is.
Right.
Whoa.
So I don't know he did anything for me?
None of us do.
Yeah, because this is the timeline's always been like this. Yeah.
So,
So I don't remember any of the conversation that we had. So I'm
That's
still,
true. But you know other things.
What do I know?
Calculus.
French.
I can play the piano now.
it's all coming back to me.
This is the first time you have been able to truly meet your father.
Okay.
He was able to get a hold of, via a passing cart, he was able to get a hold of someone who was able to get a hold of someone who was able to get a hold of someone who had met a daughter of the Enclave. And via various bureaucratic techniques, you received a message in your ledger from Certainty Drawn
Okay.
that suggested that it's outside the range of the Desserin Valley, but there is someone looking for a daughter, and it's going to be the easiest job you take all year.
That's great. So when I see Kthus go down, I actually don't say Kthus. I go, Drow, what are you doing?
Whoa.
Because we've stepped back in our friendship again.
Yeah, am I aware of? Is my vision different? Or I still have my?
It's
There's still a setting.
it's like a set of lenses.
Well, yeah, but but I don't have my normal eyes. I'm not blind now.
No.
It's
No.
just the same.
You still have your crystals.
construction. Yeah.
So in him going through all of that, yeah, so we don't remember any of that, all of it,
No.
goofiness
but-
and prostrating and stuff like
it-
that, because that couldn't have happened.
That didn't happen, but Coriander is trying to eat your cloak.
Oh, all right.
Coriander is rooting around inside huts.
Right.
Yeah.
These things are all true.
We did come here.
And the
Yeah.
rest of the men don't have a lot. There's a lot of intimidation
Okay.
in their factor, and it's only the fact that he is your father
Okay.
that allows him to have this relationship with you at all.
So, I've been trying to size him up or whatever, and
Yeah. It's very tense.
wanna-
Like those first moments, because he knows a lot, but there's also a lot he doesn't know.
there is a lot that he doesn't know. And I want to, after I look at Kadesh and I'm like, Drow, what are you doing? I'm like, get up.
I'm readjusting
Rosie's helping you your feet.
the blindfold. I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm yelling from the cart. Put your blindfold back on. Face is all creepy, dude.
Does that mean like Walnut never wore the Cloak of Stars? Why would she hide if she knew she was coming? So
Exactly.
you have it on now.
I put it on anyway, but yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have given it to you.
It's back on. Wow.
Oh, incredible.
So Clarkmore pops in like too close to the cart, and so his massive haunch has sort of like lifted it up on two wheels on one side, and then he takes a couple clops away, and it just.
He knocked the cart over?
Wait, he materialized too
okay.
close to it.
All right, so he bumps it. I go, first try.
Well, loud enough that we can all hear you.
Yeah.
He comes in on that neck that's got that scent he craves, and there's some lickings there.
What, on me?
Yeah.
Push him away, too. I'm like, what's with you? What's with all you animals today?
Salif says,
Yeah.
we have heard tell of a witch priestess that has taken up her task near the town of Red Larch.
Nilan.
His eyes widen. What? Nilan?
That is her name.
Nilan is a story.
Nilan.
Nilan
It's
is a
real.
story. The lost general.
Nilan is real. I was granted a vision of her in all of her glory in battle.
He says, Nilan is to turn the entire world green. That is her. That is her task. She dwells near Red Larch. Why does she not come to the Crypt Garden?
I don't know. Because perhaps the forest that I helped seed,
Forest?
the Red Larch Forest, with my daughter at the center.
surely does that exist?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he stands up and he says, daughter, allow me to take my leave for but a moment. And he runs back into the central group, and he is like pounding on doors, like pushing doors open, like yelling inside. He has gathered, all 20, 25 of them together, and he is in
Hey, you got yourself a grove.
heavily accented,
Okay.
old accent, like grandma accent. He is, like their whole purpose is to mourn. Like their whole lives they revolve around mourning different failures of theirs at different times of the day and in different seasons.
It's your kind of guys.
Yeah.
Hey, you love them.
It's hiring?
And he says, no more. Nilan has returned.
Wow.
The fourth age has begun.
Amy says, not Walnut. Walnut's like, yeah.
Yup.
I want Sleuth to come over though, because I have something that I want to ask him. So I wait for him to be done with his excitement.
Oh yeah, they're wheeling jugs out.
So maybe I have to
It's
go
about
up
to
him.
get turned. Oh no, he comes back.
Okay.
He comes back, and it just he can't believe it.
I say, there's something that I have to ask of you.
Anything.
Where do babies come from?
Where do EPA babies come from? No.
Not crazy.
Pretty traditional.
Normal stuff.
Normal stuff.
Normal baby stuff.
Put a seed in a tree.
Put a seed in a tree and
And a squirrel gets a nut in it.
squirrel gets a nut in it.
Yeah.
Ew.
You pack it with mud.
What?
Donaar.
No, you
I
don't.
really want to know where Donaar thinks they
What, to get eggs. Eggs.
Yeah, where do eggs come from, though?
Eggs.
Walnut looks at Sleuth and she says, when my grove was destroyed, I looked for them.
He bows for a moment.
I looked for them for a long time. And I never found anything. I never found any trace.
He said, you saw Nilayan strike foes at the apex of her power?
Yes.
Do you truly believe that the Enclave could be destroyed?
I've seen powers in this world beyond what I was taught.
Know this. There is life left in the Crypt Garden. He says, daughter, I would embrace you.
I would be embraced.
Just comes in, just holds your face, and brings you in. Of course, you're the right size,
Yeah.
so it works out okay. It's like whenever you try to hug a person of one of the smaller races, it's very inconvenient.
I've never even seen Brahma give her a hug that wasn't incredibly awkward. So Rosie's like,
So she's very stiff at first, and then she says, will you help me find them?
He says, of course. So, if you would be so kind as to...
Oh.
So...
Just kidding, they're all dead.
Now the party's getting started. Yes.
So,
Just don't sleep with my dad.
the one...
No promises.
Please, yeah. Please.
Your new mommy. Say hi to your new mommy.
No! I won't allow it!
Everyone thinks that's how Rosie adopts Walnut, but
So, they each of them has various weapons of station. But the one that first greeted the party, when the meeting was new and tensions were even greater now, before the ice had truly been broken, it's clear that the elf that occupies the highest point in their relatively flat hierarchy,
Shelf.
you can tell just from his weapon of station, essentially, that he exists in a slightly different plane than his fellows. He has a beautiful sword that looks to be of similar make to Foremother, but is obviously not the fruit of a Nemazir. Mm-hmm. It is made in every way to emulate and to honor it, but it is clearly made from a kind of blue steel. It's still very strange, and anyone else would be very impressed with it, but you can't speak words into it and have it grow poison. It didn't grow from a seed. Mm-hmm. And you can see, as you're receiving this hug and you're looking back, people are beginning to fill glasses, tapestries are being drawn out and hung over doorways, and you can see Coriander's mouth just close over the haft and just eat the pommel handle all the way up to the cage, like in 2 bites. And the front of the blade just falls to the ground.
Oh no!
Off in front, and then he looks as though it has essentially bitten his dick off. Like, he is scandalized at a level, like the very root of his social and physical power.
Scandalous is not how I would describe it if someone got their dick bit off.
This is preposterous.
So the blade,
Will I never?
the blade just falls
Bad
on the
show,
ground.
Bean. Bad show
like,
indeed.
sticks in, and then flops over to the side, and then Coriander kneels down, uses the gray tongue to sort of lift up the tip of the blade, and then chews through the rest of it. And he is, and it's like you can tell that he has no social recourse for this because it's your horse.
It's your horse.
So he's got no, he is trying right now to take these memories and encapsulate them in such a way that they will not hurt him. And it is very difficult for him right now. He's having a hard time.
So in my equipment list, I have a longbow that I've had this whole time that would have been with me from the time that I was in the EPA. And I am willing, as a matter of repaying him, it's not a magical item, but I see this happen, and I'm like, oh no. And I go to the cart, and I get out this longbow.
Tell me about it.
It's beautiful.
Oh, to be sure, daughter.
And it is crafted to look like this like intertwined plant, and it has
Oh, okay, so it's like vine
blossoms grow, like what looks like
flowers.
blossoms.
Oh, okay, that's fucking tight.
Yeah. And it's like all curled at the top, and has like an animal skin that you hold onto it.
Nice.
And so
Bow
she walks up to him and she goes, I can't replace your blade, but this is of the EPA. And I would gladly give it to you in exchange.
He bows and accepts it, and he says, "What shall I call it?"
I said,
damn it, Jerry.
and then she goes, she puts a hand on her sword and she goes, "You'll have to ask it."
That's a great moment.
Yeah.
And so you look over.
I have to get rid of it in my equipment.
Yeah. So you look over. It's easier than ever with D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
Just a click of a button.
This fucking
Click of
guy.
a finger.
you look over to Coriander, and you can hear the stretching of the
evolving?
of the cave of the the tight vines in
Tight.
the
Wow.
ground that
Hey,
drive
throw that to me.
that drive these heavy limbs.
Yeah.
And you can see sort of coming out from the seams in Coriander's shell at the shoulders, you can see two blades, sort of golden copper blades, rise up and then come out
What?
in the back.
So tight. She stays.
Thank you very much. So
I
that's
imagine that when Coriander sneaks over and starts eating the sword, Donaar gets there and he's just running up behind the horse, to Clarkmore, I found it. I found her. All right, he was looking around the village for her, and then right as he's all right, let's get her back to the cart. She's just no, and he just fades into the background, boop, too late.
she's right into the
Yeah,
woods.
I got her. Come on, let's bring her back. Whoa, never mind.
Right into the woods. This bow has been proffered over here. You can sort of hear that stretch and snap like a bowstring almost. How taut the cables are inside, and then these swords emerge, and then they're passing out cups. It's time to get down out here at the west side of the Crypt Garden, which for as long as anyone can remember has been a place of mourning and solitude, and now is a place where people are drinking 200-year-old wine.
I want to party with my dad.
Let's get your dad drunk.
You're not-
See what happens.
No.
You're not obligated to. Shadow Council, may our labors please you. Of course, we are moving into the first break. We will come back as soon as we decant, and we'll get back with more C Team. Don't go anywhere. Hello, I'm Jeffrey K. Horkrims, and this is C Teams. Go ahead and roll a dice. You said you wanted to roll a dice?
5.
Yeah, see? That's
great,
what you
though.
get.
That's
Sometimes,
good.
sometimes it doesn't go your way. Now, when last we saw our heroes, just like for the rest of the time, Walnut's dad has been Salith Crypt Garden. Nothing novel about that. Perfectly ordinary piece of genealogical information. You can be able to find it online.
He's a genie?
Create an account. Yeah, we're partying down on the western tip of the Crypt Garden forest. Wham, 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 wham.
For the podcast, I winked at Ryan.
Party. For the podcast, there's a lot of winking at Ryan and from Ryan. Just so you know. Just
I have
assume
an eye disorder, and that was so rude that you would call me out like that.
Making
it's
fun of
blow
me.
my spot. Now,
At this party, Rosie's drinking, and she's not hitting on Walnut's dad, but she is engaging one of these EPA males in a conversation.
Maybe two of them.
Maybe two of them.
It's like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I like. That's it. She's
Let's settle for two.
She's trying to get around to that, and it hasn't been that long. It's been like 10 minutes in this conversation where she's like, "So you guys are like the breeders, right?"
they get like a little.
They get.
a
Are they
little-
blushing? They got a little blush.
A little blush.
Uh-huh.
So we are.
Farmers. Bum, ba-da-dum.
It's breed. I don't think that breed is the right. And the other one is like, no, not breed. We service. It has been our holy right to service the mothers, to be sure. But every child of a mother is a daughter.
Sure.
We may not even be required.
In my experience,
You can tell that they have not thought about it a lot. They
Certainly not
don't
for a long
really
time.
seem to get it.
What is it you'd say you do here?
Yeah. Yeah.
You say you do.
so
As many as...
your service to the mothers,
Yes.
you're probably very well practiced at it.
Practiced. We are...
Maybe a little rusty, but
Oh, no.
no?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
No, of course not.
Okay.
It is our task to maintain these skills with,
Each other?
on occasion,
Nice.
but our primary use is to the mothers.
Interesting. Well, I'm a mother.
I knew it. I was waiting. I'm like, get there.
I think she's
there,
probably,
girl.
she's like 90% just like having a conversation and being this lascivious grandma, but also I think that she's pitching her voice loud enough to make Walnut blush too.
Yeah.
Walnut's trying to have a conversation with Sleeth, Dad Sleeth.
Yeah.
Occasionally you hear like Rosie cackle, and when you look over, she's making the
touching
male
biceps.
She's making them like turn around slowly.
Well,
I'm a grandmother. That's like a super mother.
yeah, exactly. But it's like in the, it's like revered.
Yeah.
And it's just like that shadow. It's just these pristine columns of
Chiseled
of
elf flesh.
of like professional tier drones that don't mind being worked hard and put away wet.
And you hear loud, too loud, Rosie goes, I've always felt like hair just gets in the way anyway.
So
Looking to find my grove, not like repopulate it.
So Salith takes a drink from his cup and then ponders the flavor of it for a moment. And then he sets his cup down and says, She may find the ritual intimidating.
Oh, I don't think so. I find that very hard to believe.
She's experienced.
Well-traveled.
It's like in Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Get your men out of there. They're gonna die. Pull them all back.
He says, as is her right,
Yes.
let us say she may find the ritual novel.
Yes. And then I go. Like la la la. And then at that, Walnut grabs his cup and chugs it.
He see, as it's going up like this, and it's like
Down
no,
top.
exactly. And then it's like you're waiting for the rest of it to come down. He comes back with a small jug and sits down, and he says, "Are you loved by anyone?"
It's not unusual.
Yeah, and he's just like, "No, it's not unusual."
That's why you get 11 charges.
Walnut says, I think that I am. It's a loaded question.
He says it may be more question than unallowed.
There's a bard. An elf.
He chuckles a little bit.
There's always a bard.
Yeah.
Freaking bards, man. Jeez.
He says, or she says, she may yet be untamable in that way, but I do think that she has love for me in her way.
He says, I honor myself somewhat to think that your mother loved me. She never chose another. Maybe there's something to that. And he takes a drink.
Walnut, knowing nothing about
Yeah,
that
it's-
at all, because she never
You're learning
got,
a lot. You
never
you
got
had
the
not
talk.
gotten to the point where you got the talk, and that's
No.
like at 100,
No.
right?
So where do babies come from is a real question
Yeah.
for Walnut.
No, she learned today
Oh my god!
where babies came from.
The ripe old age of 88 or whatever.
Yeah. And so, yeah, she says, maybe.
Awesome. That's-
How are you two partying?
yeah, this is
Are you getting
what I
down
want.
with the dads?
Are you down with the dads?
Oh, Cthulhu is wallowing in what just happened.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like I think what I'm doing is I'm standing there and like pondering how my connection with the has changed. Like I'm like poking around inside to see what's shifted. You know, what's
Yeah.
different.
Where are my
you know?
organs?
Yeah, or
What are
even
they
like in
doing?
a literal way. I'm
Yeah.
trying to determine what's changed.
You would be the only person who could actually compare like the change lists, right? And to see
The
like,
full,
what's different.
yeah,
between
she
these
to do the
two.
full compare.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's like Wikipedia.
Yeah, exactly.
What things are crossed out.
Right. But as I'm doing that, I am aware that this is a party, and occasionally I'll.
I am aware that this is a party.
That's on the invitation. No, at intervals I'll stop this meditation, and I'll just go, ha yeah.
That makes me blush more than the rest of you.
No.
Just occasionally.
and then back.
Yeah, and it's like
Let's celebrate.
whenever there's
celebrate. whenever there's one of these like vocal incursions, it's just in the manner of a spell. It creates a little sphere of privacy for you. It's like it warps the social space.
Occasionally, Rosie will say something like, "Yeah, I've participated in some pretty weird rituals before," and she'll just like reach over to high five Cthulhu behind her.
But it does come readily, even though I'm
not paying attention.
Yeah, and I'm like feigning like there's no glass. It's not even an empty glass. Yeah.
It's like maybe what's important is the motion.
Yeah.
You never know until you investigate it.
Exactly.
Donaar, how do you party?
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say. So there are a group of 3 or 4 of the Saliths, Salathai, Salthbar, over there drinking, and you think that they are working up to something. Every now and then they cast a glance in your direction.
Oh boy.
This again.
Donaar wouldn't understand what was really happening this entire time.
Yeah, this is pretty mammalian.
Well, it's a mammalian with their lactating and hair. Ugh, who needs it?
Whatever they're doing over there.
And their warm blood.
At least they don't have the hair. Like, honestly, like...
They're a step up.
That puts them...
They are a step up. Well, like, so from the outside perspective, we were supposed to come here for, like, to finish the mission, and we did with 0 interruption. Like, now that this has all been, like, resolved and retconned in a way.
It's the weirdest
it's like,
job.
okay, we showed up and it was over. That was, like, took 2 seconds, the end. When a party breaks out, Donaar would just start looking for the food. He wouldn't really care about the drink, but he would be like, well... all right. if we're gonna do a party, someone's gonna be cooking something.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yum yum yum.
It's gotta be meat.
It's a completely vegetarian diet.
Oh,
it's
that's interesting.
Everything that comes out, every tray. It's like, and it's the worst because it sounds like, because it's like it sort of smells good, like it's spiced and rich, and then it comes out and it's all different kinds of fucking vegetables.
Every time, this is like...
And we're in winter season, aren't they? So they're
Yeah.
all
It's all
root
squash.
vegetables. Yeah.
It's like an 8-course meal, and every time it's like Charlie Brown with the football, like, this is the one. God damn it! But he's like sitting at a table, like, fork and spoon, like, or knife and fork, just, oh, and then like Clarkmore next to him, like, loving it.
Of course.
Like, just super excited, just humming.
He's got
munch, 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 hum, hum, hum.
like just like steam rising off, and like Clarkmore, and so now Coriander
next to me.
Coriander has actually gone back to the cart and is resting somehow.
Okay.
Just
She in
closed up. Yeah, basically just closed up. The labor has been done, but she's more defended now in her closed up state. There's a lot more danger to be had trying to mess with her. But Clarkmore is not resting. Clarkmore is dipping that whole... It's like Clarkmore is like a 3-year-old at a party, and it's like no one feels like they can parent this kid. It's like somebody else's fucking 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Nobody feels like they can tell him no. So that craw, he's just coming out of these pots of stew. He's got... The beard is dripping, just steam rising up off of this wet moose face.
Star-covered moose face?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I mean, Donaar is upset that there's no meat, but he's letting his boy go, yeah. Well, I don't care.
No, it's
no social contract here.
No. It is full on party time. And one of these... they're using the no meat. They're using the no meat fucking emoji. Oh, it fucking brings me so much joy. All right. So what they're eventually this group approaches you, and they say, you are a young race, And as
Compared to
such, there are things that we don't know, and of course we would not want to seem rude in any way.
I say no more. You know, in an autograph. What do you want me to sign? I just sign, like, on his bald head. There you go. I get this all the time.
No, our question, our understanding is that in matters of physical romance, your people.
What do you mean, you people?
Well, I understand that Skull and Dragonborn perhaps don't have this property.
Spit it out, Powder. I ain't got all day. Trying to eat my celery.
It's like, what is that bushy part? It's just we. And then one of the smallest of them on the right takes a step forward very quickly and says, "We understand that Janari Dragonborn dual wield.
Yeah.
We understand that you have two."
He's gonna make him say
I'm
it.
hey.
Twice blessed.
Swords. Yes.
Yeah.
Here they are.
Yeah. And then the other one says, let me. That Janari Dragonborn are twice blessed.
How many you got?
One has thus far been...
Oof. That's a shame.
No?
Oh, buddy.
One of them is crestfallen.
Weird mammals.
Deep in his cups, just turns on his heels and just walks into the dark of the forest.
Is never here again.
Goes back and he says that must be. And then the one who had spoken up before says, I don't see the advantage. I don't see what it enables.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't, worker bee.
Wow.
Actually, how could you not see the advantage?
Well,
Isn't that your purpose? This is efficient.
efficient.
All right. I'm sitting here, I'm eating my celery, right? How much more celery I can eat with a second hand. You feel me?
You get the picture.
All this celery! All this celery!
Rosie's like, at least he's eating his vegetables.
His eyes grow wide. He puts a hand on his friend's shoulder just to steady himself. This new revelation. He says, Dragonborn, we thank you. You have revealed much. Some of it is terrifying.
They're happy to help.
Are you gonna go put it into practice on Rosie?
Yeah. And they nod. They bow and merge back into the great commotion near the fire. So
Here we go.
these two men are now much closer.
Okay.
Get it, girl.
This is an isosceles sort of scenario,
Devil's triangle.
if you will.
How do you play?
If you will.
You gotta get some drinks. It's a
Rosie's
drinking game.
favorite drinking game.
All right. So, and so at this point, they're professional about it. Mm-hmm. We're jail. they are professional about the interactions, the scenario. Mm-hmm. And one of them says, "Well, the ritual does involve no small amount of singing.
Love it.
Okay, so he looks to his fellow and it's a nod. Okay. There are scented oils.
Oh, love it.
There is games of chance.
Oh, Donaar's into it.
Yeah.
Hey, come back,
He
buddy.
turns his head and he's like, what?
And there are, no doubt,
They're coming?
dreams for the rest of your life.
I do love to dream.
Dare to dream, Rosie.
I do. I do dare. Do I dare? I dare. Let's start a grove, baby.
All of the things that I suggested legitimately happen.
Okay. Sounds awesome.
We can go into the details about what exactly the game of chance
Yeah.
entails, and then you can leverage it in future games if you would like.
I
It's
would
like the
love
love
to.
dice,
Yeah.
like nibble elbow.
And what I also want to know the manner of dreams that come for the rest of
The campaign.
time. Oh, it was a dream. The whole campaign's a dream. Got it.
No, that's no.
A sex dream.
You never got out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still named, but we all fell asleep.
Yeah,
Roll the dice again.
that's it.
It's elbow. Why does it keep saying elbow?
He's like, I don't want to. I'm
You look
done
at
with
that
the
one.
fucking elbow.
Yeah.
Rigged.
They're all elbow. Look at you weirdos in your elbows.
It's
this out of here. And, like, the
elbow.
one guy's
no, exactly. No, it's that one
With
motherfucker.
like really pointy elbows. He's just like,
Real sharp. Okay, so that's really it's just like he's finally found his way to make it happen for him. Yeah. Creep. Salith, and so
Wait,
yeah,
are we partying or?
yeah.
I think you're partying with
You're
two of them in
partying.
a hut.
Okay, so we took our game inside. Okay.
Yeah.
no.
Excellent.
Out
Just
by
checking.
the fire. Just.
I don't know. I don't want to be culturally insensitive.
No,
Maybe they
no.
do it outside.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Do they?
Not this.
All right. Not this shameful act. All right. Cool.
It's private.
Done.
Kathris got wind of it, and I am looking in on it.
Okay.
If there's a way, but the second
Standing
as I
in the
heard,
doorway?
yeah, basically.
Just a
But, like,
silhouette.
when I heard that it's a ritual, I'm like, of
course, yeah,
I
you
wanna
love
see what that's
rituals.
about. But the second that any element of it is like, it's what I assume. It's like, oh, all right.
You're disappointed.
I know this.
Donaar goes over because he hears game of chance. So the two of them stand there, and then it starts like, oh, this isn't.
But then it reminds you of that time in the cart with Welver, so you kind of just stay there.
Yeah, it's like, ah.
You're like,
No,
I'll sleep outside.
this is just the same but more. No. I was like, game's a chance. What'd you say? You poor one-dick bastard. No, this is just the other stuff.
So, Salith is happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm having a nice time by the fire
Yeah.
with my dad.
hey, I didn't seduce your dad, so
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right.
Friends.
So you're welcome.
Yeah,
just because we're friends.
thank you.
And he's just talking about. He's just telling you different trees that no longer grow because they can't. And he's just trying to imagine. He's trying to imagine shaping the world in such a way that they can return.
They can grow again. All right. I say,
He's talking about like a tree that sings. Like he's just going through he's going through these just like with some sadness, but also like the prospect. And he says, "Tell me of Nilan. She must be a tower of a woman,
she is
a force."
frightening to be sure. She is strong beyond strength. And employs two of the most annoying birds you'll ever have the displeasure of meeting.
Birds?
Yes,
Is that she has birds in the old stories as well?
yes. She has birds now, and they plague me. daily.
No doubt these birds have your best interests at heart.
Yes. Yes.
Have you?
Yes, Dad. I'm sure whatever mind dreamt these birds up. He's a genius. He's a simple genius. Yes.
Only one success.
No.
Yeah.
I say, tell me about what you remember about my mother. And then I go, not anything that has to do with the ritual.
he laughs, and again, like, this man, hundreds of years old, hundreds of years hence from this situation, is still manages to find a blush somewhere about it. And he says, she was kind and wise and very, very dangerous.
Yeah, she was.
This is table talky, but I was just looking back at our thing. Would Walnut ask about Scythia and Vervain?
Oh, yeah.
She could.
I don't know if she would ask about them. I mean, she saw, that was in the, for the viewers at home, that was in the, when they met in the land, that was the story that they experienced.
That's who Rosie and Walnut embodied. And that they, I was thinking maybe they would be druids that your dad would have known back in the day.
Yeah. I don't know if she would ask about that.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Anyway, so at that, at the mom stuff, she just kind of like looks off wistfully, and you can tell that she's like, no one's around except him to see this, but she kind of starts to get emotional, and she does a thing where she like turns and looks up at this like, you know, the tree canopy and like what stars you can see through the trees, and it's just like gravity is holding in tears.
It's the brimming.
Yeah.
But it's like you can't blink.
No, you can't blink. And
Get ready for him to reabsorb.
yeah, exactly.
It's like surface the eye, and then there's like this little water bubble over it. Yeah.
It's huge. Have some respect.
Yeah.
Talking about her dead mom.
No, I mean that's an awesome
Picture.
I mean, like in the movie version, that would be an awesome way to end that scene,
Yeah, that's fine.
right? Just a little glimmer of that. Morning arrives, and Coriander is ready to go.
How's Rosie feeling?
You're ready to go.
You just emerge, just out into sort of that steam has begun to rise in that autumn, like that autumn sun. So you just sort of cut your way through it.
I like to think that we all taught each other some things.
You came away from the situation better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
I mean, these are like two old-ass professional sex-having elves. I think Rosie would have had a great time.
Nice.
It's pro tier.
Yeah.
And they were able to gently lead you through some of the more novel portions of the
That's pretty cool. So
ritual.
Does Rosie now have any more insight into the EPA and into the culture that Walnut is from?
Yeah, you'd have to ask specific questions, and I'd be happy to answer some of that stuff.
Yeah, all the sex parts.
Yeah.
Like,
You get to give her the talk now.
That's true. Rosie can tell you where druids come from.
fucked up.
but it definitely multiple, like, two of them are perfectly like the ritual allows for
Multiples.
that
Nice.
seems to be there's a interleaved, certainly in the singing portion, like there's definitely harmonization, and like the ritual is designed to encounter couplings of novel configuration.
I love that. And I think that Rosie also would have introduced shadow play.
Yeah, did she do throat singing when they were singing?
Yeah.
Definitely did.
Yes.
Yes.
Horrifying.
Yeah, so
That's not what I want.
she was like, well, let me show you some of my rituals. You know, get that in there. But I think also, just like you always hear when people talk about sex work, especially, which I think of these guys as sort of like cultural sex workers for their
That's definitely their purpose.
their
Yeah.
race. That it does end up being like a lot of conversation,
Yeah.
and companionship, and
yeah,
so I think that their night together was a lot of that too.
Oh, and it's like the full meal deal, as it were.
Yeah.
So let's have it instead. Let's have you're here together with them, and then Coriander just noses her way into the hut
Oh boy.
and just stomps a couple times.
What?
Just
It's like day breaking through the opening.
yeah, just a light shaft coming
Yeah.
through.
Rosie's
Nice.
been awake.
Again.
Rosie's been awake because she's old. She's been up since like
Oh yes,
before
Grandma.
daybreak.
Yeah.
So she's like sitting. The male elves are trancing somewhere else, and she's like sitting drinking some like boiled water and leaves that she drunk
Found.
together. So when Coriander comes in, she's like, "What?" And then she sees the new shoulder blades, and she's like, "Nice. Those are new.
Nice.
This is a good look."
Yeah, she once she sees that she's got your attention, and
Yeah.
you know that she's communicated the message, which is that it's time to fucking go.
Right.
She comes out and just shreds the curtain in front of the. Just pulls it off, and then like the rod snaps, and now there's just this massive wall of light.
And okay, shining on these
They just
nice elf men. So I think Rosie would give them each a cup of this boiled leaf matter and thank them for a lovely time, and to tell them to come visit Walnut's daughter in Red Larch and check out the Drawn and Courtier. You know,
and they say
very cordial.
they say when requested.
Of course. Oh. Excellent. All right.
Gonna get a 2 a.m. missive.
Yeah.
You up?
Yes.
Going to documenting ledger.
Yeah.
This is bring the heat. So Cthulhu, you feel like you're getting close to something. You feel like the ability to utilize the rings as anchor artifacts, the ability to make modifications to causality. You feel like you are very close to a ritual that would enable you to decouple individual gods from the Sangolith.
Yeah, I think I spent a lot of the night, like, upset at what the previous iteration of me had done. Or like, I understand some of it, but this is so potent. It's so terrifying. Do it.
Apparently terrifying
where are the-
to the earlier iteration.
Oh yeah, where are the rings right now?
Right now, I mean, my presumption is you did not leave the ring with Salith.
No, at that point, my question. Yeah, it's like so. I know that Walnut had one.
Yeah, Walnut
but
has
then
rings.
upon this being restored, would he have cause to wear a ring? Would he have the ring at all?
No.
Would it have returned to me?
Yeah, I think that you have it now.
Yeah, yeah. So I know that one is safe with Walnut, and I've got the other one.
That's right. And you think that utilizing these in a place that itself had already hosted a manifestation of Malith and Maliki.
Right.
You feel like that's all you're missing.
Yeah, that's the last element. And
Someplace where it's thin.
when I'm able, I will return to my father's study knife and figure out when the best time to do it would be, but also to go back through where Rosie and I are forming, trying to come up with a model for what order these stars are being snuffed out in and what order the gods need to be restored in so that I can have that
Ready to go.
right. So
I mean, as you
appropriately.
recall,
Yeah.
having sprung that which endures,
Right.
Malith is actually the next one.
Yes. And I know I feel the temptation to release the despite, I know that specifically
You've
that is the wrong
specifically
order.
requested.
Right. To go last. How
Would you
selfish
say-
that is.
Would you say it's an urge that you have?
Yo, boo.
I want to see this word jail
Give me those
emote.
word jails.
Yum yum. But yes, that's the situation.
And this is something that you and I have started working on, right?
We had, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna return to the cart.
So are you gonna ride Clarkmore alongside? Or are you gonna send him home? I mean, you could ride Clarkmore alongside, especially since Walnut tends to ride on top.
Yeah, I think
Like that might be kind of a nice.
I think Donaar will ride Clarkmore alongside, or he'll be in the cart. He'll ride in the cart, but he'll have Clarkmore walking alongside, just as like a reminder to Coriander, like we can replace you
Anytime.
We can replace you at any time. We got your replacement right here. If you start
wings.
getting uppity with these fucking magic items, we got a replacement who doesn't want to eat our money and our magic items. Just saying. I don't care about the swords on your back. You can eat your own swords, as far as I'm concerned. Are they magic? I say all this to Coriander. He's yelling it out the window.
Is it the snoot through the small window?
Yeah.
Rosie keeps shutting it.
That's so.
Don't
It's
listen to him,
such a harsh
sweetheart.
insult in D&D. Yeah, I say to Coriander, you found a way to never be ridden again. Good for you.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. So inside the there's just a knife sort of hanging in space. Tell me about your goodbye with Salith Crypt Garden.
So I'll go to do the EPA handshake with him. And
It's big. It's
Yeah.
like you've never met someone who knows how to do it.
Oh yeah. So no, it's nothing like that.
That's the ritual from last night.
Yeah.
That's the ritual for last night. That's all you did was a handshake, and that's all you did.
That's all we did, sweetheart.
That's all you did. So I do the handshake, and I say, I'm very glad to have met you.
And you.
Remember what you said, that you would help me find them.
To be sure. Request aid of myself and we who remain here to mourn the EPA, and we will arrive.
How do I contact you?
He looks at you and he says, I suspect you have your methods.
I think about it. I think about it, and then I go, yeah, sure, I do.
Yeah.
And then Walnut just says, until next time.
Here, so one moment. So did something happen? Like, did something get touched accidentally over here?
Maybe.
Okay, so is there actually two?
Might be.
Okay, if you would be so kind. You can tell that there's something else.
Oh.
Are we gonna do two at once, Jerry?
No, you can tell that there's something else that he wants to say.
And I say, Yeah, did you want to say something?
He says it's not our custom, but would you accept a gift from me, daughter?
Yes.
You see him return to his own hut, which is by far the most meager of the huts here.
I like that though.
And when he returns, he has a small scroll case. And when as he comes back, he twists off the cap and then fishes out very gingerly a very old piece of parchment.
Okay. Does he hand it to me?
He does.
Okay, I accept it, and
And it's like this thing is
really old.
it's seen better days. This is definitely a special method of holding it.
So yeah, I take it very gently. I say, "What is this?"
So you can look at it plainly and see it.
And what is it?
It is a choosing.
A choosing?
It is a choosing. I mean, that's what it says on the document in Elven.
Okay.
And there is a hand-drawn picture of him on this choosing document.
Oh.
And he says, I understand that she drew it.
Is it good?
Yeah. Is it bad?
Is it like a stick figure?
Yeah.
Or is it okay?
He has
This is Walnut's dad.
Yeah. When his ears go back high and then curve down a little at the end, and that is a pretty distinctive feature. So no matter how else it may be executed, they would have chosen the correct sleeve.
I see. And I take it, and I have all the accoutrement to carefully and archivally keep this.
You have a scroll humidor ready to go.
Yeah. So I take it and I press it in between. I take it and not I press it, but I put it in one of the containers that I have in my Documentsy satchel, and I say, thank you. I will keep it with me.
He nods and allows himself a very small smile, and he says, "Farewell, daughter."
Farewell, Father.
That's it. So as Coriander pulls out, Coriander is feeling herself
Nice.
out on the road. Just flexing these blades, like tucking them in, fanning them. Right now, it's a very, very simple, but clearly very dangerous pair of single blades. But you can see opportunities for aftermarket modification.
Excellent.
But it's just like as soon as the sun catches them, they're not the same color. It's like the same way that like a new leaf shoot is a different type of green, like that sort of like that bright jade over the dark leaf, and just the neck just held high. It's definitely a new lease.
Do they look like Foremother coming out of her?
No, these all seem to be drawn from this metal.
Oh, okay. So it's not plant life.
Definitely. No.
It's like
This is a
golden metal.
grown. Yeah, this is a metallic artifact-looking thing. And so you have entered the knife, Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And then as the cart pulls around, it sort of moves around where the knife is held in space. And then as soon as the cart wall hits it, it just falls on the ground
Okay.
and clatters. And so the rest of this trip, this knife is just vibrating up and down.
Just is it like on the floor? Just rattling around.
Does Donaar understand what's happening with this knife?
Yeah, I've seen it before. Donaar's never been in it, but he's
Right.
seen Cthulhu.
Wait, he's never been invited in.
No, he's never been invited. He doesn't really want to go. Even if he was invited.
Who cares?
Whatever, yeah,
I've got my own knife.
Yeah.
I got
plenty of knives. Look how big this knife is.
I love it.
So tell me, kind sir, what you are researching inside this knife.
Well, I'm trying to hold steady because all the bookshelves are falling down.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can hear the noise out there, and it's just that there's like a lot of the books are just like there's a lot of dust.
No, I'm imagining like it's just like a tumbler.
Like a rock tumbler.
The study's destroyed. No.
Yeah,
There's some sort of a gyroscopic, like a mount inside that will.
There's definitely shaking.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like there's construction.
So I'm looking over the like the parchment, like the map that that Rosie and I made, and trying to see if there's any pattern yet, or like it's almost like I'm studying for a test, or like any patterns that have been discerned, I'm just trying to fix them in my mind so I don't have to reference them. Like I want this ready at a moment's notice.
Yeah, in terms of as you're looking at it, the main thing is that whatever force, like whatever agency is shifting its way through this, it is focusing exclusively, like when you can look up and compare, it's focusing exclusively on the stars of the Homeward Star constellation.
Yeah, which is a constellation.
It's not working. It's not working other parts of this.
Yeah.
Of this star field.
What do I know about that specific constellation? Because I imagine that that's the only thing that gives it meaning as a field of stars is your people's definition of that as a constellation.
Or I suppose it could be part of a bunch of different constellations from different cultures, but
Right.
But for us and for me, it's specific to not only, I don't even think it's to all halflings, but it's to my
Your dad,
yeah
your fam.
it's specifically mine.
Yeah, I think so. If you weren't driving the cart, I would want to
Discuss.
figure that out.
Well, it's
hop up
this.
front.
This is a multi-day journey.
Yeah.
You are welcome to do research and then crack that thing out when you make
yeah.
camp.
No, I'd love to. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I want to know that. I also want to know. I'm trying to distinguish like the differences that have occurred, or have always been the case since removing Mendes Vale as Walnut's father.
So you're basically just trying to constantly assess.
Yeah.
You have like a background process whose purpose is to assess these shifts.
Yeah, I'm just trying to feel out what remains the same and what would have changed. Because I know that most of what we've done did not concern that or did not hinge from that.
That's right.
So
when
most
you notice
of this is
when you
the same.
exactly.
Yeah.
So when you notice something of that kind, I will offer you an opportunity to discover it.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice. So cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to talk shop with Rosie? Do you want to invite Rosie in?
I think I would actually go up and join her. I'd come out of the knife. I'll pop out. Where are you, Donaar? You're in the cart, right?
In the cart, yeah.
So when camp is made, you probably sleep in the cart.
Oh yeah.
Assuming you woke up. Assuming you woke up at all.
Yeah,
he's-
you're glamping.
He's out, yeah.
You're just done? Okay, so I emerge, and then the knife I could see has been on the ground, and you're sleeping, and I'm like, he didn't even pick it up? He just let it...
It's like he doesn't care about my knife.
It could have tumbled out of the cart. Doesn't he know I'm in that knife?
That would be great. That's getting used.
You just wake up, and it's like, what? I've been there for hours. Is camp made? Is the cart still moving? Or okay, we're...
Yeah, I mean, let's say that like nobody bothered you. My suspicion is that Walnut knows how, and my suspicion is also that Rosie makes camp and just does that.
Yeah, Rosie's like busted like the best fire, and Walnut's like skinning a rabbit,
Yeah.
and they're just like doing it themselves.
Yeah, there's like no conversation either. We've made camp so many times.
Oh, yeah.
We're automatic and very comfortable in these roles. And Rosie's already, I don't think she's said anything out loud, but she started to like make her travel coffee because she's not going to go to sleep until Cthulhu comes out of the knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sort of knows what's. So you open the hinge of that on a squeak.
Right.
Hinge of the door, and then come out. You can see that there is a lot of industry occurring here in this forest clearing.
I will, on my way to Rosie. Where are you, Walnut?
I'm like just chilling near the fire.
I think we both are.
I go over and I will say, thank you for letting us see that. I guess maybe thank them for letting us see that, but
See what?
I imagine not many people get to see the inside of that grove or be among them.
Well, times are changing, and I think if they're going to survive, they're going to have to change. I think that's the mistake my grove made.
I think that they have a better chance than any. All this will be undone.
I love him. God, I love him so
Walnut
much.
just goes, thanks. And she does that. She has the rabbit upset and just rips the skin off it. She's like, thanks.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Like pulling off a blanket.
So you're out there, and sort of we can see, like reflected in the glass door, the windows of the cart, and maybe even sort of reflected dully in Coriander's shell. This increased level of industry out near the fire. You begin to discuss things over here. Donaar, you feel it's like there's something uncomfortable, like underneath, like it's affecting sleep to the extent that it is bothering you enough that you have to wake up.
Uh-oh.
All right.
It's a pee.
I'm on top of 10 mattresses. Little pee. All right. So I wake up and I look. What is it?
It's awesome. It's like underneath, sort of like underneath your foot, like that's stuck in there. There is a book, a small book, that it's possible it fell out while the knife was clattering around. And now it's gotten itself sort of stuck between two toes.
Oh,
That small of a book?
Real small. What?
little baby book. All right. Well, I'll examine it.
You take a look at it, and you sort of look at the tiny letters along the spine, like with one eye, and it says, "The Velvet Cloak," is sort of like the head title, and the subtitle is "The Halfling Stellar Diaspora." Gather throng, Shadow Council, Mayor Livers, please you. What a pleasure it's been to spend this Wednesday with you.
Because it's for halfling hands.
We're going to go decant shortly afterward. We will return for table talk. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back.